Um, Sunday session. Oh, we might want to run a clock on this thing. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. Uh, what's going on in the world, kids? Think we covered it all, didn't we? Uh, could though go through it again. I don't see the point of it. What's the week wrap up? Should we start doing that? Wouldn't we have to write out the wrap ups? What's new in the world? Ukraine. Germany announces major defense policy shift in the face of Russia's Ukraine invasion. Yeah, so you got in bed with them too early. Like, like there were no problems. It was all so shady. I'm on my third cup of coffee, but I'm all right. Jerry Lewis's co-stars say the comedy icon sexually harassed them with impunity. Yeah, it was a different age then. We expect that. That's like saying, Edgar Murrow smacked my ass in the 50s. I hate to say, but it was kind of there. There was a lot wrong then. But Jerry Lewis, you knew he was a fucked up person because what he ended up doing was he when he died, he in his will he left nothing to his wife and his kids and left everything his first wife and his birth kids and left everything to his third wife and her adopted son or some shit like that. He didn't take care of everybody. It it's just sort of spiteful. It's like what Rick Ocasek did to his model wife, right? He left her jack shit. Totally like left her nothing in the will, and she didn't even know it was coming. That's amazing to do to the mother of your children. Or maybe they didn't have children and he wanted children, and that was his way of going. Well, there you go. Um, I'm making all kind of speculations on this. Hey, William, good to see you on this Sunday session. Um, we're just going through some uh, of the nonsense of the day. Remember, today is a day of rejoicingness and great merriment. It's the Lord's Day if you're a Christian, and it depends on which kind of Christian you are. I was watching something, oddly enough, a few minutes ago, the birth of Jesus, and they had charts, and they were saying how it's off by like 2 years, right? And like 2 years and 2 seasons. So was he born in 64 uh, A what is it, BCE and AC, right? So was he born essentially AD and BC, right? But anyway, there's a 6 year gap of where he was born, of when he was born, and they all agree that if he was born around Passover, like everybody is saying, it wouldn't have been in winter; it would have been in March, when Passover is. so, but it's like some people. And that's the thing. Some people read the book as um, I look. How about let's just talk about me. I look at the book as a spiritual roadmap, a moral roadmap, like lessons of not, don't covet, don't steal, be a good dude. Like getting to the heaven is, when I was a kid, I thought that was the point. Now I just think, don't be a piece of shit. Um, and on this way, if I do succeed in not being a piece of crap, and if there is a heaven, I'm in, right? But the whole point of is faith, right? We have to have faith in something. People are always telling you what they want you to have faith in. So if you go, oh yeah, I'm religious, they'll ridicule you because I think you sort of represent them and their alcohol addiction, drug addiction, porn addiction, gambling addiction, What else? There's those. I think those are like the five big addictions we have in America right now. Um, ga- Gambling is everywhere. There are slot machines in the 7-Eleven here, and now they're making gambling. uh, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, but that I think that's part of what some of the drama is. And you know, nobody's saying you're going to be perfect. You'll pick your vices, and you won't. You'll have a couple of them. You won't have a ton of them, right? You're going to be ultra violent, ultra racist, ultra sexist, ultra anti-Semiticish, um, uh, anti-lady, right? People who hate children. That happens. When you get old, people all of a sudden hate kids. That get off my lawn culture, that mean old lady culture. And I think it's like it's what people missed out on and now they're blaming, right? A lot of people, and I've seen this happen, a lot of people who in my young man days, 20s and 30s, a lot of women did not want kids. No, and I think a lot of them were lying. And some people are not happy with their decisions. And these are decisions that you can't take back. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter looks back. They loved each other until the end. Aw, that's nice. Drama. Why is that a news article? It's freaking. They both died 30 years ago. When did Lucille Ball die?
Lucille Ball died April 26, 1989 at age 77 in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center.
Really? CSI Medical. Some which one in New York or in California? What is that? 89, right? That's 30 years ago. 99, 2009, 2019, right? So yeah, 23 years ago. And he died before she did. Why is that a news story? With all the shit going on, it's not a slow news week. You just don't want to talk about the things that need to be talked about. Or you've hired all these people who shouldn't be journalists. It's like we talked about artists. I don't know what to do, but my parents are paying for me to go to college, so I guess I'll go be an artist. I'll take a painting. I get a degree in fine arts as a painter, as a this, as a that, as a. Okay, all right. But did you really have art inclinations to do that? Right? It's like the people I know people who went and got law degrees, right? No, didn't practice law, don't practice law. They hate law. I'm like, it's like having a superpower. It's like being able to fly. You don't fly. You walk every place. I hate the wind in my hair. Ugh, people are weird. Um, just go for what you wanted originally. I mean, look into what you claim to be interested in. Look, yeah, it's a spiritual Sunday, right? When I was a young man looking for my first gig, I knew several things, and one I struggled with. I still struggle with not having joined the military. Back and forth. I went back and forth and back and forth with that for like 20 years in my head. Longer than that actually. But that was me, right? And I knew one, I didn't want to work in an office building, right? Shuffling papers, doing this under fluorescent lights. I didn't know what to do. I was like, yeah, college, yeah, maybe. What would I do? Get a degree and work in an office. I want to make creative shit, films and stuff like that, but who can afford that, right? So you're going to do all this when you're like 15, 16, 17. How do I get there from here? But I know what I don't want to do. Didn't want to work in an office. That turned out to be true. So if you don't want to work in an office, why would you go out and get a law degree because your parents are paying for it, right? Shouldn't you be old enough as a adult person, but you want the college degree. But and this is also how people hold shit over your head, especially parents, which is just um. So I don't know. Uh, we will see. Start your week smart. Russian invasion of Ukraine. The footage of this invasion looks both sinister and comical at the same time. There was a video of a guy, because everybody's got dash cams in Russia, pulling up to a tank because the tank had run out of gas. You guys lost? You guys all right? Where you guys going? No, what if I like? All right, you guys take care of yourself now. Okay, thank you. And he takes off in his little Russian little car and leaves the invading army soldiers and their tank stuck at the side of the road. Meanwhile, there's another video of a gunfight. Another video, the cops holding these guys, like six of them, and they're looking like, yeah. Another one where they caught a pilot. They're prisoners of war. Outrageousness. Outrageous. You know, it all looks like that until you see somebody get their brains blown the fuck out on TV. Or you see a missile strike landed in the middle of a bunch of CNN reporters. And then you're like, oh, yeah, right. Military armament, actual trained military. They're tier one. I mean, military anybody against the untrained average mob is fucked. Not military people is fucked, but the untrained average mob is fucked. Now you may need to train up your average mob, which George Washington did in this country, right? The whole idea that everybody was untrained citizen farmer, citizen soldier, I think they called it, versus the soldiers like Washington who enlisted young and wanted to be an officer. Somebody just wanted to be a farmer, right? And was swayed to the cause and was willing to fight and die for it. Sorry about that. You know what that is? That is the alarm we set yesterday. What time is it? Oh, 11:20. We should have set that a little earlier. Um, yeah. So, it's a citizen. Wow, I'm sorry about that. It's a citizen soldier sort of energy that you got, but you need to train it up, right? You just can't. I mean, the insurgency in Iraq had ex-military people conducting it. They weren't just farmers who put down their selling of rugs and freaking oils and beads to fucking take on the American military. It was all the military people that Americans threw out of government, right? Which is what's going on now. All the world's insurgencies are ex-military people, uh, and that's it. In Somalia, all through Saudi Arabia, um, in Iraq, right? And there's no opposition in Iran. There's no opposition in North Korea, but in all those other places, Yemen, um, yeah. So you're trying to sell me not high school, college basketball and hockey. Two things I do not care about. Here's my problem with college basketball. I don't know who any of these people are, and I don't really root for any colleges. So why am I looking, right? I get if you went to the school and you followed the I guess their version of a league, their conference. I get it, but asking someone who didn't go to school, didn't go to that school, to follow it, I seemed you for that you'd need an N, and I don't know what the N would be. Hey, you didn't go to college, but maybe you should hang out and watch this thing about these people who did go to college and get fanatic about them and their college loyalty to this college that you didn't go to, and root for this team and wear jerseys and go to that college to see the home games of a place you didn't go to. Yeah, I don't get it. More than 600 geographical sites across the U.S. will be renamed, replacing a derogatory term for the indigenous women used for decades. Squaw, that's the one. Like Squaw Valley. Yeah, I grew up seeing that in movies, and I was like, that's derogatory. Yeah, and this is the way this works. If that group of people say it's derogatory, then it's fucking derogatory, and you should stop using it. So let's read this. The Department of the Interior is moving forward with removing and replacing the derogatory term for indigenous women used for decades across the U.S., the department said Tuesday. Quite frankly, let's be clear, it's long overdue for us to get rid of some of this shit and put us on at least as the government an every man footing with some. I don't care if you want to cry that you can't call. What did Mitt Romney have outside of his house? A rock. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland issued an order declaring squaw SQUAW derogatory in November. The term has been historically been used as an offensive ethnic, racial, and sexist slur. I didn't know that. To our indigenous women, the department said in a news release at the time, the Holland, who's the first Native American to serve as cabinet secretary, established a 13-member task force to rename more than 600 geographical features that contain the term through that order, through the order that she just decreed. Now the department is moving into the next step. The department on Tuesday issued a list of possible names for the geographic site. Is looking for public comment on the proposed name. According to a news release, the comment period is open through April. It's like 60 days, not even 60. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. 30 days has September, April, and June. Okay. So that means March has 31 days. So that's 61 days. And when I talk about this month ends in 2 days, 63 days. All right. So, good math. I'm very proud of all of y'all. Uh, throughout the process, here's the thing about this. She's the first Native American woman to be cabinet secretary. With that comes a certain amount of juice, right? So you can go, I want all these names changed, and they will cost the taxpayers money, and you can squawk about it, but those names will get changed. I think this is good. I think it's something that somebody else it doesn't pain them, so they will let it go. I think proper representation in these areas is important. I think the problem that black people get is is we've been fucked with and corrupted for so long that you can find, quite frankly, black people willing to sell out black people, right? So you can put Clarence Thomas on the court and he won't say shit about anything, while people are openly murdering people who look just like him, right? Um, People are cynical. All these moves are cynical moves, right? But you would have to be able to go up there and actually make change. If you made me uh, uh, Bureau of Prisons, what's that? That's under the Justice Department, right? So if you put the Bureau of Prisons is run by, okay, the Bureau of Prisons is under the Justice Department. The Justice Department is under the Attorney General. Is that right? Would the Bureau of Prisons would be? Yeah, it would be under law enforcement. It would be under the Attorney General. Whoever answers whoever runs the Bureau of Prisons answers to the Attorney General, right? So you would need to make and have an Attorney General who allows you to fix the problems in the justice system and the Bureau of Prisons, right? Versus just putting a black person there who only shows up to talk about Dr. King and Thurgood Marshall and then goes back to the golf course. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. This is why the Jews controlled their own destiny, all their history. Um, and the more I think about black life here, the more I think that that's the route to take. Uh, Small banks, small hospitals looking after each other, right? Cut out the middleman. I will do this for you kind of nonsense. But we'll see. Now he's talking about putting a black lady on the Supreme Court. And like I said before, if you who are my enemy nominate somebody that you think will appeal to me, I don't want that person. That's it. I don't want that person. I don't want if you endorse her, I don't want that person. And that can be used as a tactic. Maybe the right person is right, but then like if the Klan endorsed Dr. King, black people would have moved away from Dr. King. Distinct possibility. Why they what is you're gonna lose some people who aren't thinkers. But a lot of us have been through this game for centuries now, and we know the way the game is played and the ground is laid. So we might not buy that, but a lot of this is like whatever. Um, Harsh but true. We'll see. Excuse me. All right. I'm looking for how much this is going to cost. I'm just curious. Not that it shouldn't be. The department has already replaced the term with SQ dot 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 in official communications. So now I can't say squaw. I have to say the S word. This is getting complicated. And these now substitutes blank dot dash words are now, it might as well be synonymous with the slur. This is controlling language that I don't like. You make, and now that new YouTube is banning people. And I didn't say nigger a lot in the first place. And now I'm very wary to say it at all. Right? Even as all the music has it in it. Even as I try and make a point about that and using other ethnic slurs as an example of using, well, why can you say X and not say Y, without saying why can you say X dash word and not Y dash word, without it's a way to get around freedom of speech, freedom of expression, by saying, oh, these are private platforms. I don't know about that. If you can blank an American president, I think Congress should look into your power, right? The Ukrainians are still on YouTube. Why, if everybody's blocking out, not the Ukrainians, the Russians. If everybody's blocking out YouTube, why aren't if everybody's blocking out the Russians, why isn't YouTube, Facebook, Twitter? We don't want to offend our millions of fans. We go through this, man. We went through this yesterday. So you just have to be like a grain of salt. Everything at this point, everything is with a fucking grain of salt, or you will lose your ever friggin' loving mind. But this can't last forever, so maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Talking about nuclear war, talking about shit and doing shit is two different things. Do you think Vladimir Putin would drop a nuclear bomb on the world and kick shit off so severely and recoverably? I don't know. I don't know. We got 16 spy agencies. Shouldn't one of them motherfuckers know if he's bluffing and tell the president so he can go that mother? But sometimes you got to call a bluff. Sometimes you have to fight the bully. I don't know what they're gonna do. New documents revealed abolitionist court cases to free her child from slavery. New document revealed abolitionist court case to free her child from slavery. Yeah, there was those who ran, that wasn't right, and others tried to do the right thing by going to court, and that wasn't right. I mean, the fix is in. It's a permanent fix that is in. Um, the sin of slavery is not of the enslaved. It's not the slaver. I say that all the time. And they were not slaves; they were the enslaved. And you found, but if we're gonna start controlling language and changing shit, I've got some suggestions. I'm just saying. But I'm a look forward type guy. But when you talk about the past, you should be right about it. You should look at it through its proper lens and not trying to pretty it up to assuage someone's guilt or guss it up to embolden uh, someone's when you give someone's contribution. Thank you. Good Lord, man, what is wrong with y'all? Like you're new to language. Come on, people, let's get together. Music, make the people come together. Anonymous bomb threats made about Moscow train stations and airports. California police officer was fatally shot while conducting a traffic stop. This is how cops get it. Right? Now, the unions are going to say Black Lives Matter. Right? There'll be people who use this to get elected. And this is the problem. It shouldn't be allowed. And this is why no one trusts anybody and aggression. I hate to say it, but I think I looked up the average. I think the average is one cop in an average year. One cop a day will die in the line of duty, right? So that's about 364 cops, oops, a year in a nation of 345 million. That's pretty fucking good, right? You'd like it to be zero, but come on, there are no absolutes in nature. You're never going to get zero of anything, right? I know I say that, but people go 100% of people die, and I always say that you know of. Um, uh, right? There's always one fluky thing, right? There's never 100% of anything. If you flip the coin 100 times, it's not going to come up heads, right? It's not going to come up. It's not going to come up heads 100 times or tails 100 times. Um, and if you flip the sword just falls flat, it might do that 99 times, but one of these times it's going to roll around and land on its side. You're going to be like, God damn it. That's more of what I'm talking about. But the numbers have to be larger. I mean, not 100 times for flipping that coin, but maybe if you gave yourself 1,000 times coin flip, that shit would happen. And that is a point I'm making. Um, and I'm sort of being a little facetious when I say, you don't know. Well, it's Sunday, like Jesus, right? And Methuselah, who was supposedly whisked up out of here. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh, my Amazon package did not come yesterday, but I've decided to make a pedal. I've got a big old slice of wood. I'm gonna cut the halves off. I'm gonna look for something on the edges and way to tip it up. I'm making pedal boards now. What? They look so simple to make, and I need an artist and crafts project. But I think my first project should be to clean all of this up. It's a mess. I've got piano chords because my piano chording has been slacking. Nice little hobby you got here. All right, where are we? We're closing in on 20 minutes, and we're looking for content. I hate to say it, what's in the news? Other than that, I think we just checked the news. I did not watch Saturday Night Live yesterday. I'm beginning to find that Saturday Night Live is just dribble. It's really funny. Um, and I think it punches down now, right? First you were all about Joe Biden over Trump. Now you're taking shots at Trump, right? You're just, oh, we're not loyal to anybody. Then what do you stand for? We don't stand for anything. And then on top of that, you hear all the weird shit going on behind the scenes. You're just kind of like, I don't want to support this. But I will say this. We're gonna turn this down. I was talking to my homie. We might play. Can you see this? We might play. Look at that picture. That picture is so Bannerlord. We might play like two people sitting in the woods. This is still a Viking. We might play Baldur's Gate. So I was trying to figure out if I want to be a wizard or a barbarian. Bards don't have any power, but I am trying to be a bard in real life, so maybe I should try and play a bard there. Uh, I don't know, man. I want a game that I don't want a platformer game where you hop and you have to like Donkey. In my when I was a kid, my I would ask my dad for $5. I would get $5. I would get uh go to the arcade, get $5 in coins. It was sometimes it was slugs, right? Sometimes it was. Then they switched to tokens because you're gonna use them at that place, right? It was politics of it. Um, and you would just play Donkey Kong and Galactica and Space Invaders, right? So I need to buy a pack like that, but I don't want to play those on stream because they're 5 second games. You don't have to play like 100 of them on stream versus playing an RPG or a role play game RPG. Uh, or a strategy game, right? Where Bannerlord is a strategy game where you're trying to get men, unite factions, take over the continent, kill bad guys, become king, emperor, whatever. Um, that's a grand mission, and that's just where we're at. So now I just don't know which game to do that in. And I was told that, and I get sick of games. I've got like a couple of hundred games. I get sick of some games, so I don't do. Maybe I'll just do. I don't know, man. I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it, and I'm running out of time. I was gonna go. Maybe the first quarter should be shot. That was like, don't you miss the last the last third of the first quarter. That's right. Um, and I'm about to do that. But yeah, no. What I need to do instead of working on guitar is work on mocktails, alcohol alternative, healthy ways to relax without drinking. I used to love a good cocktail. Oh man, um, a good mocktail. But that's I mean, mocktails it's hipster fare. It really is hipster fare. Uh, Am I running out of time? No, I'm running out of conversation. I've got 45 minutes. If I had conversation, I mean, I've just scanned. I mean, we talked about Ukraine all week, right? Um, we say 20 minutes, but if there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing to talk about. And the last few days has been very slight. I mean, we Germany announces major defense policy shift in face of Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, your defense policy shift was shit. You got called out on it like 5 years ago, 8 years ago. And now you're doing it at the face of war. But we talked about this on this show like 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, but like last year, like somewhere around August. But we talked about it on podcasts like 2 years ago with Ted. So this isn't stuff that nobody knew. It's like now the world is on fire and people want to use less fossil fuels and all this. You know who's in charge now? All the hippies of the '60s who wanted um, less police brutality, right? I mean, they're the age group now who's in charge. What are they doing with the power? Same thing the people before them did with the power. Ex hockey player wants Russian hockey player suspended. Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed in the country. They shouldn't be allowed to go on with their life as usual while this goes on. Yeah. Um. Everybody should freeze out the warring nations. Why don't people do that? Because they have these bogus sort of deals with each other. This is why people think that they're the global elite and that they're all eat babies in tiger blood and all this other weird shit that you hear about. Um. Yeah. I mean, especially if you invade someplace, no one should trade with you. People should seize all assets or funds for everybody in the country, and making it so uncomfortable for the people in the country that they look at their government and go, "What the fuck did you just do here?" Right? And that's the way it should work. I mean, Iran is always screaming about sanctions, wanting sanctions lifted before we do a nuclear deal and sanctions, sanctions, sanctions. But how's the sanctions hurting them? Right? The people are uprising in the street on demand. Right? So I just think it means that you can't hang out with us cool kids at the cool kids table. Well, and we keep all the fun and cool shit to ourselves over here, and you can't have any access to any of it. It's not like they can get rid of you without a war. I mean, don't get me wrong, America has done that, right? It got rid of Saddam Hussein, it got rid of Manuel Noriega, right? It bumped off several uh, heads of provinces in Mexico during not the Contras, what's the Contras? Started the FARC. That's all. That's all American blowback. The FARC is a Mexican Revolution Army that's been living in the woods fighting drug dealers forever. Um, but there's supposed to be a peace treaty, but yeah, what happens? Remarkable CNN reporter spots major Russian tank movement on live TV. 10 years after Trayvon Martin's death, fights reemerge over stand your ground. Yeah, they didn't fix it. They all held hand in kumbaya and made speeches and broadcast shit on TV, and nothing happened. Cops just killed the guy who was 20, took him in for, I want to say, suspended license, took him in to jail, and he's dead. Healthy 20-year-old, explain it. You three had him last. Explain yourself. This is not hard. Look, if I'm driving down the road and you're a police officer and you pull me over for blowing the stop sign, and as you walk up to the car, you look in the back seat and there is a dead woman naked, or what's the saying? A dead You don't get caught in politics with a dead woman or hold it. Yeah, a dead woman or a live boy, right? So either one of those is naked in my back seat. You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? Dead woman, live boy, son. Trayvon Martin. Do something about the thing, man. This Texas mom says she's moving her family to California to protect her transgender daughter. Oh, fine. Go ahead. A lot of this stuff just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Look, here's my position on all of this shit. There's too many fucking wars going on here. The original war you didn't deal with, which is I think black people and likely Asians, right? Not Asian, American Indians. Then everybody showed up here from other countries and sets up these lawyers and sets up this grievance campaign where there's raids money and I'm like, why would you come here to deal in such nonsense? No, my pedals did not arrive, William. Um, yeah, I was just looking at this. I'm never going to this place again. I was just looking at their return policy. The return policy is antiquated and they should be out of business. They're like only store credit plus we charge you 50% restocking free. Your mom and pop shop. That's what gets people going to Amazon because you're an asshole. So this is what happens when you try and shop at mom and pop shops. So I went there and I also went to the Guitar Center, which is a little more professional because it's corporate. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to mom and pops. But every time I try and go to mom and pops, I get fucked over. What did Joe Pesci say? They fuck you at the drive-thru, right? They fuck you at the mom and pops. So I might as well just do Amazon. And Amazon did not come through for me yesterday. So I've got two pedals coming today, something coming Monday, and two things coming Wednesday. And then this whole thing should be up and running. But I was just playing with it without all the other stuff. I was just running it straight through to the speaker and trying to get to know how to do it. So you step on it, the light blinks, dun, 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 you step on it, and it'll just do that forever. Dun, 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 and then you can play over it with another loop, right? Dun, 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 ding, 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 right? Then it'll do both of those, and you can. But since there's two pedals, you have to know when to stop one and stop the other. As you play over, stop them both, restart one and not the other. All with like foot clicks and click, 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 clicks. It's gonna be fun. But first, I got to get that up and running. I know what the problem with that is. The hum that's coming from that is from an unsecured kind of wire, which is running across each other when they should be running diagonal. So I think I'm gonna have to get a better. You know what it is? It's probably the charger. It's the charger. Okay, we solved it. It's been like 4 weeks. We solved it. I'm pretty sure it's the charger. Yeah, it's the charger. It's got to be the charger. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, it's the charger. That's amazing. All right. It's a pretty good Monday. What else do we have? Other than coffee that's growing cold. I don't know who that was. All right. So, yeah, Jerry Lewis was mean to his family. You always found out that these rich guys that people put on pedestals were horrible to their family. Bing Crosby beat the fuck out of his kids, right? He was mommy dearest before mommy dearest was mommy dearest. Well, yeah, I checked and they said it left the warehouse late, and the update is instead of yesterday, it's either today or tomorrow, which is BS. If you can't make yesterday, then it should be here today. But my question is, I wonder where it's coming from, and I wonder what the drama is. There are storms in the Midwest, right? So if it's coming from California, or if it's coming through the ports of California from Asia, which it likely is, some of these pedals, those $25 pedals, I don't have any here, um, are everything's made in China. And going back to my other rant, if I wanted to not buy China, I'd be paying through the nose for American. But what's your poor, right? People will start with their wallet, and China gives you $25 fucking amps with an Amazon imprint on it. It's hard to beat. The devil is hard to beat. Where's your duty? What's your due when your nation falls through? Don't. The only thing I can absolutely do is not drive a foreign car. American Jeep. But yeah, it's a pedal board with a bag and some routers and some tape to stick the things to. Looking forward to it. I was talking to my homie, and I think I really just make him crazy with all my guitar questions. But when I found this thing, I need to sand it down, cut it in half. I need to find angle things by about 20 degrees, which I think should be easy to find. I can do that either with a block of wood. But some of these things are cases, so you can like flip them over. But if it's supposed to be at an angle like this, the base will have to be here, right? So then the top box will have to be the rest of that empty space. So you can set it up like a briefcase, right? And then take the top off. Would you sit it in the top? Because then it will be a foot off the ground. I like building things. It's been a while since I built anything. I've also been thinking a lot about painting because it's been a while since I painted anything. So at least it's beginning to churn the creativeness that I used to do a lot more than I do now. Russia sends natural gas tanker to Kaliningrad outside behind NATO lines. Judge rules that Ethan Crumbley's parents will stand trial for involuntary manslaughter. The idea that your kid killed four people and you're going to jail should be a wake up call to parents. And this is the kind of shit that's needed, right? You don't need to lock up 100 parents because their kid shot the place up, right? But if you lock up several of them, parents will begin to seriously look into what their kids are up to. And it's not all kids who have this problem, right? So if you, it's a handful of specific groups. So, and by that I mean like you got guns in the house, you got a kid with a mental history and guns in the house, right? So maybe you'll be like, oh, I better look at, you know, uh, and that's important. And but if you just got a wild kid and no guns in the house, why are you stressing? Um, yeah, people don't want to be responsible for anything, even their own children, right? My son did something horrible. That's tragic. Then the family releases a statement, but the family's not, not responsible. From Trayvon Martin to Ahmaud Arbery, stand your ground laws remain controversial. Yeah, your black judicial nominee. All right, whatever. I should be impressed, but again, I need actual change and not this window dressing that I see. And it goes to my original criticism of Joe Biden. He's doing exactly what I said what he was about. And here it is, these empty gestures. And like I said, if he's for her, then I'm not. But I've got no power over anything, so I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna sip my whiskey, which I don't drink anymore, and I'm gonna smoke my weed, which I smoke sparingly. And I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? Play my guitar? I guess that's it. Well, my options are small, man. I mean, this is why I started doing this, right? Because you're watching it and you're going, what are these people doing? And what these people are doing are just making money, and they don't want to leave because the next person will come in and then they're out of government and out of power, and you can look into what the fuck they've been doing. And what they've been doing is making money, and they want to die in Congress. That's Nancy Pelosi's, I think, end game. It's to die in Congress. Uh, Said it before and I'll say it again. After you've done any political office in America, there should be a mandatory review of your time. And if you're one of these 30-year people, Ron, I don't think that should be possible. But every 10 years that you're in office, there should be a mandatory audit of your time there. I mean, we are getting straight mangled by our own elected leadership. Come on, man. Really, there is no. The New York Giants assistant GM Brandon Brown preaches. I thought they had some new draft pick. Look, the Giants had better fucking do something. Because I hate to be the one to say it, but they suck. They suck my whole life. We're not even going to go into. Look, listen. Football season is over. You have a year. No, you don't have a year. You have August. Season starts in late September, mid September. I cannot believe that there's no news other than the Ukraine. Ukraine. Russian planes face near total airspace ban to the west. So now you can't fly out of Russia because nobody's going into Russia. No, and remember, Russia blew up that plane last year, flying over. People dicking around like it wasn't a war. Blew up a passenger liner, killed everybody. Obviously, I mean, you blew your plane up at 10,000 feet. It kills everybody. What else you got here? It's madness. David Remnick on Putin's endgame. You don't know what Putin's endgame. This is a problem. They act like they've got somebody inside someone's mind. Trump is thinking this when he did X, Y. You don't know what anybody's doing, and you always get it wrong. Putin is thinking this, and he'll do. What do you know? What do you know? How do you know that? Tell us how you know that. Well, I mean, the speculations aren't even good. Yeah, guess that's it. Tears for Fears on the 18th. Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. Yeah, all this. That's it. I've been through this thing 3 times. I don't see any story. Who's this? EU foreign minister will adopt Russian sanctions later on. So everybody's throwing up sanctions. The pandemic's deep in fault lines and so. Look, they're 132 degrees Fahrenheit. Good lord. Um, that's it. There's no there's no news. There's no news, everyone. I think we went through all of it. Uh, I got one more place. Maybe we'll go to Reuters and see what they have on their headlines. Because we only do social events and politics on social events. We only do politics and essentially current events. We don't follow celebrities or. So if there's no news, I bless you and send you free into the wilds of the world to do wild and magical shit, whatever form that takes. Uh, Two of Russia's billionaires call for peace in the Ukraine. Okay. Russia agrees to talks. Turkey to implement pact limiting Russian war. Yeah, see, Turkey is an ally of Russia, but they want to look. Uh, are they gonna? Is Major League Baseball gonna strike? Thomas Reuters. Refugees across into Romania after Ukraine invasion. People flee to Poland and as Russia invades. They all speak the same language and look exactly alike and worship the same God, so I don't think there's going to be any problem. Uh, but other people are like, oh, we don't want the Sunni running up in here. We got borders, right? We don't want the Shia up in our Sunni neighbor, right? So you get all this kind of like just evil. Can we call it evil? Let's call it evil. Let's run through some Major League Baseball. Let's see what the news is. I mean, we don't follow politics. That's Ted's shtick, and Ted doesn't follow. We don't follow sports. That's Ted's. And Ted doesn't follow baseball. Good lord, I can't even get the joke out. I wanted this to be like I don't follow sports. That's Ted's purview, and he doesn't follow politics, even though Ted follows politics. All right. Recent Major League Baseball trades that could hurt the teams. Major League and unions are still far apart on the eve of a deadline. When is the deadline? The deadline is tomorrow? Really? Major League Baseball talks take turn for the worse because of owners' intransigence. Recent Major League Baseball trades that could haunt teams entering 2022. Here's how this works. The billionaires are sitting on a ton of guap, as we call it in the hood, right? Money. Um, and they shut these clubs down before. And the money they lose, they get back from the government in tax abatements, right? Because business slowdowns or whatever. You got all these new people who want to sign $1 million contracts to get their first. Oh, I signed a $30 million contract. 200 million is guaranteed, and my first paycheck, which is a bonus for signing of this 30 million, is going to be $25 million. And my dad's a bus driver, and my mom's a nurse, and now I can just walk down to my bank and drop a $25 million check uh, if they give me a check in, or they'll just transfer 25 million. And the first thing that happens when that happens is your phone rings. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Here it is. Hello? Yes, hello, Mr. Jehoshaphat. I'm Don Lemon, your private banker. Oh yes, if you have more than $1 million in so and so, we'll handle that for a small fee of XYZ. I'll be handling all your business. If you want to buy a house, you want to get a plane trip, if you want to look up a fancy purse, I'll call the jeweler for you and stuff. But all this kind of shit when you're not one of us unwashed masses waiting in line to get your ticket punched to get into the bottom tier of the Titanic. Um, so yeah, I think the pressure is going to be on the players and their agents, right? There's only how many baseball teams are there? There's only God damn it, how many baseball teams are there? 29. How many baseball teams are there? How many baseball teams are there? 30 Major League Baseball teams was established in 1869, quickly grew one of the biggest sporting organizations in the entire world. Today, there are 30 Major League Baseball teams divided into two separate conferences. What did I say? Uh, I didn't say 30. I don't know what I said. Doesn't matter. I probably wasn't even close. I'm not really a big baseball fan. Uh, but right, so those 30 guys. Oh, did I say 29? That's a pretty good guess. So those 30 guys um, can wait you out versus all the agents. Some of them have gambling problems and misses and child support payments. Everybody's gonna well, we're da da da, and we're gonna stick it out in the pledge association and your as the time goes on, they're the ones going, look, we should just call this. Maybe we should take that first offer. I don't see. And then as soon as they're off and the gates open, everybody's checks, begin to flow again. Right? And mind you, they're all millionaires, but they're not all money solvent. Right? Uh, it is what it is. Despite report, no deal closed between Major. Let's read one of these Bleacher Reports, Major League Baseball trade rumors, New York Post. I hate to say it, the Post is a rag. Major League Baseball talks take turn for the worse because of owners' intransigence. New York Times, Major League and unions are so far apart. John Heyman, contradictory to all negativity, upset surrounding the Major League Baseball player, Major League Baseball slash players talks once per person. I mean, me need to learn how to read. Contradictory to all the negativity slash upset surrounding the MLB slash players talks, comma, one person involved said he believed the sides are now with quote unquote within striking distance end quote, and a deal could be done by tomorrow. by tomorrow night. Luxury tax remains a sticking issue. What is a luxury tax? But 225 to 230 million threshold should work. When is this tweet? This tweet was 1 hour ago. Andy Martini. After hearing players' latest proposal yesterday, Major League Baseball (MLB) increased its offer of CBT threshold 1 million. What is CBT? 214 to 215 a month in year two, with the other 4 years unchanged. Many agents, players, people around the game took this as a sign owners wanted to miss games. After hearing players' latest proposal, increased its offer of CBT threshold by 1 million. Oh, they're saying 215 was not enough. Y'all need to come back with a better offer, and they gave 1 million. So it's like, okay, going once for $5,000, 10,000. Oh God, we got 10,000. Going for 10,000. Someone goes $10,000 and a nickel, and everybody in the whole place. Well, yeah, that's legit, but you're not being serious, right? And they'll look at you like, and that seems like what he said. This was 17 hours ago, but the two recent ones say took this as a sign owners wanted to miss games. A friendly reminder that Major League will auto renew in 2 days. My cancellation probably doesn't. Oh, okay. The official site of Major League Baseball coverage, including they're not going to tell us. The official site is going to be bullshit. Which one of these do we want to read? ESPN is sort of not bullshit. Players angered by 17 hours ago. Okay, let's click that. And then, did they update the story? The story is Jupiter, Florida, 5:15 p.m. This is yesterday. All right, so let's click on. They didn't update that story? That's weird. Okay, let's click on today. And let's click on Major League Baseball. Let's see if they updated any of this. I have to stop coising. Coising. Cois. No more coising. Phil Mickelson. Oh my God, that dude is a mess. This is what happens when money is God. Where is, here it is, NFL, NBA, W soccer, boxing, golf, really? Recruiting, BB, baseball. Where is the Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, NCAA, NCAAW, soccer, boxing, college sports, golf, MMA, NCAAF, recruiting, BB, tennis, X Games, CFL, cricket, Little League World Series, NASCAR, Olympics, recruiting, FB, I guess that's football, chalk, F1, Major League Baseball. Why is Major League Baseball in a subdivision? Let's go play baseball. Enough is enough. Inside Vanderbilt walkout replacing spring training. Okay, Jeff Roger took a turn for the worse. How can the Major League lockout end? Baseball insiders weigh in on potential compromises. When was that? That was 2 days ago. So, in 2 days, you have a 360-degree, no, not a 360-degree shift, a 180-degree shift in this. This is video, so we can't play that. What is this? Buster Olney, ESPN senior writer, February 26, 2020, Nashville, Tennessee. Workout program prescribed by San Francisco Giants training staff covered 10 weeks, but this was week 11 of the lockout by the owners. This is week 11? Wait, what are they doing before spring training that I'm missing? Oh, hey, thank you, William, for the love. I appreciate you. Um, what is Major League? Well, I guess you got to get grounds crews in to weed the place. 11 weeks is 4, 8, 12. 11 weeks is 3 months. 3 months and a week about. Okay. Giants training sets covered 10 weeks, but this week, that means they training staff. So the training staff gets together to prepare for training day, which I guess that makes sense. You get 3 months to train, clean the facility, know who you're gonna hire. Okay, all right, all right. So you need 3 months to get the whole thing up and running before you bring prospects in to set up your team for another 6 weeks before opening day. All right, okay, I'll give you that. So that's 3 months, 4 months. That's 4.5. You have 4.5 months to set up before the opening first pitch. 5 months. And your season runs nine. That's not right. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, October. Actually, 7 months. So you're okay. Okay, that works out to about 10 months of work, and you get 2 months off. That's interesting. All right, roughly about 10 months work. Are we gonna read this whole thing? It is. It's longer than I thought it was. Um, let's hit the bullet points. Oh no, it's not as long as I thought it was, but it's still pretty. It's not long at all. Okay, we're gonna read this whole thing. Uh, this is weird how they organize this. This whole thing must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 paragraphs. Not 12 paragraphs. Uh, well, technically 12 paragraphs, but really only four. Natural Tennessee. Pitchers usually start February 20th. Right, so I guess this is all the non-athletes who are in the building, filling the Coke machines and writing the whatsoever's, right? That first week of them. And somewhere early, I know that pitchers arrive first. Do pitchers arrive in February? When did we say opening day usually was? I remember we looked it up. When did we say it was? I want to say, oh, it is long. You have to click here to continue reading. Okay, all right, we're not gonna read that. Players angered by the state of negotiations by Major League. But we're not gonna read that. Miserableness. We're not even gonna traffic in it. Um, come on, seriously though, we need news about it. Players angered by so and so. This is 27 minutes ago. Despite reports, no deal closed between Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association. 49 minutes ago, Major League Baseball and Major CBA agreement within striking distance. Luxury tax at sticking point. All right, so Major League Baseball trade rumors and Bleacher Report both say the same. Both say the opposite things in the last. One is in the last half hour, and one is in the last 50 minutes. 46 minutes versus 27 minutes. So they're essentially 20 minutes apart going to airtime, and they have two different stories of what the fuck is going on here. Starts March 30th. So they show up a week and I'm sorry, a week. They show up a month and a week before everybody else. Right. That's about right. March, April. Yeah, that's about spring, February. Huh. Wow. I did not know that they showed up. I mean, I knew they showed up early. I didn't know they showed up that early. Okay, let's just peruse this story. Despite reports, no deal closed between MLB and MLBPA by TC Zenka, Zencka, February 27, 2022 at 9:34 a.m., which was about 2 hours ago. Oh, it's later than I thought it was. Where's my package, Amazon? Um, Amid all the doom and gloom surrounding the CBA negotiations, there is at least one voice suggesting a deal could be in the one voice, one voice. Why am I even reading this now? All right, trade rumors. Okay, who's the one voice? Could be in the offering. Major League Baseball newsman John Heyman reports it. This is how it's just at. So this guy happened, then this guy repeats it, and then this guy repeats him repeating it, and then that makes the original say of a thing all of a sudden an authority, and now everybody wants to talk to him about what you know what I mean? So it's sort of a feedback kind of spiral. It looks like we have here. Uh, this morning, the two sides are within striking distance. So you're quoting one guy who wrote a story on it. This is the laziest shit. We're not even gonna finish reading that. Uh, I guess that's it. All right. Oh, we got 10 minutes before the show's over. Um, Putin speeches are usually vulgar. Oh wait, hold it. Vladimir Putin's speeches are unusually vulgar, dirty, and violent. A choice has always been intentional and strategic. Okay, who's writing that story about Putin? Everybody always knows so much about somebody, but everything is always a shit show. If you know so much, why don't you tell us early that they're bad for us? It sounds like drums. Or fireworks off in the distance. And what is the luxury tax on 220 million? Is it I mean, if you only have to pay $5,000 above the every time you violate the cap, that's worth it for that organization. But if you have to pay 5 million a man, you don't want to do that because that's going to get you up there. But yeah, you need to put together a team for two. Look, in this modern era, they should raise that. It should be 225. It should be 235. It should be 250. Make it 250. Make it an even 250. When was the last time they raised it? Luxury tax. Luxury tax. Because it makes sense. I mean, otherwise, some teams would just keep walking into the World Series. Major League Baseball has a luxury tax called the Competitive Balance Tax, CBT, in the place of a salary cap. Okay, that's the difference. It's in place of a salary cap. Okay, essentially, it is a salary cap that if you go over, there's a penalty on. How's it not a salary cap? A salary cap is an agreement or rule that places a limit on the amount of money that a team can spend on player salaries. Agreed, it's a cap. It exists as a per player limit or a total limit for the team's roster, which is where I know it, or both. Several sports leagues have implemented. Okay, so luxury tax. What's the difference? A luxury tax is professional sports is a surcharge put on the aggregate payroll of a team to the extent to which it exceeds a predetermined guideline set by. So you get what? So you might as well say a luxury tax is a professional a luxury tax in professional sports is a surcharge on and then hop over here to salary cap. Oh my god! All right, the competitive balance tax regulates the total sum of money given a team. The total sum of money given a team, not given a team like I'm giving you money. The total sum of money given. That is another fucking weird sentence. The total sum of money given a team can spend on their roster. The it should be the total sum of money a team can spend. The total sum of money granted that a team can spend on this roster. That makes more sense, I think. But I'm not. Well, this is okay. Fine. Don't even get into it. Without these measures, team could not be restricted on the amount of money spent on player salaries. Therefore, teams with greater funding or revenues or possess a competitive advantage in their ability to attract top talent via higher salaries. Right? You just buy the talent because you're a billionaire, and someone else is a smaller market 100 millionaire, and those guys can barely eat. Um, The Major League the MLB, implemented the competitive balance tax in 1997 to reduce anti-competitive behavior in the league. The commissioner's office set the competitive balance tax threshold each year, unlike other professional sports leagues. The fucking commission in baseball has a godly amount of freaking power. The Major League Baseball allows teams to go over the threshold. However, doing so, go over the threshold, go over the salary cap. Uh, However, doing so results in the team being charged a tax on all over averages per Major League Baseball. Under collective bargaining agreement, the over average premium for exceeding the competitive tax is tiered as follows: one season 20%, two consecutive seasons 30%, three or more consecutive seasons 50% tax on 200. All right, so we know how much this is. If it's 200, what did you say? What did it chat? It's 200. Where was that? I just saw that. Did you delete how much it was? No, there it is. 220. So if it's 220 and you go over and it's 20%, that's $22 million. No, that's 10%. It's $44 million, which would be 20%. Uh 30% to a two seasons. So my question is it 30% the first season is 20%. The next season is 30% of 220 would be $66 million, right? And then three or more consecutive seasons, the last one will be tax half of that, which would be $110 million. Wow, that's that's why would you go? That's a lot of money. The luxury tax increased based on number of consecutive agreements above the CBT threshold. If a club dips below the luxury tax threshold for a season, the penalty level is reset. So you could be over it within that threshold when they're about to hit you with a tax. You could trade that dude and then bring another guy in and do it again, and it resets the tax. It's not like you can be double banged for it in a year, but you got to get rid of them. Maybe it's worth it if you could keep it. If you could win a World Series the year you did it, then it would be worth it. In addition to the luxury tax club, I really have to work on my reading aloud. In addition to the luxury tax, clubs that exceed the threshold by 20 million to 40 million are subject to a 12% surtax. Meanwhile, those who exceeded by more than 40 are taxed at a 42.5% rate the first time and 45%. So if you exceed the surtax at a certain amount, the tax goes up. Clubs that exceeded the threshold by $20 million or $40 million also received a 12% surcharge tax on top of the 20%. That's 32%. Those who exceeded by 40 million tax at 42.5%. That's 42%. 42.5% plus 20%. That's 62%. And a 45% rate if they exceeded by more than 40 million again the following year. So if you did wow. All right, they're in your pocket on this one. History of the Major League Baseball luxury tax, but Baltimore Orioles ended up paying $10 million. 4 million 97 98, 3 million 1999, 3 million. What year is this? 97 98 99. Florida Marlins 136,000. The Met 001.3. Maybe that money is different now. What's the year now? Threshold 210 million. Oh, back then 97. The threshold was 117 million. Huh. Do they not they didn't go back that far. Did they go back that far? 2019 total taxes paid 348 million. The Yankees has oh wow, the Los Angeles paid $927,000. Everyone else was I guess it keeps a running track rate of all your luxury not all your luxury tax violations, but your accumulation of being having paid the luxury tax, and of course the Yankees $348 million 2003 through 2017, and then in 2019. Wow. Wow. 2017, 2018, 3.84 million. Wow, that's amazing. All right. Wow, that's incredible. Uh I don't want to fall down a baseball rabbit hole. I do love baseball movies, so that's as rabbit holey as I want to get it. Cause man, when I was a kid, I liked comic books. Other kids liked baseball. I didn't get really into baseball till late. And I would say late would be about 18, 19. Versus kids who were going to the club with their dad and wanting to be on little league baseball teams and all that stuff. Uh, it's baseball. It's good shit. But they had like baseball cards and they knew Satchel Paige's batting average and where he was from and all that stuff, and I had no idea, right? And I was just like, I could tell you. Captain America's first name, and he's from Brooklyn. I'm sorry, yeah, he's from Brooklyn. If you care to know about it, people are like comic book, pfft, right? So it's that now, and I don't care to know all those numbers. He's better because his average was better than this guy's average. He hit for this, and the season was different because they had more games and less of that, and this was dead ball error and all this. And I'm like, I don't know any of that. So I'm not trying to slide into like a rabbit hole of baseball. I just want to watch it. And I'm afraid that if I did, I would slide into a rabbit hole of baseball. I'm afraid that I might slide into a rabbit hole of baseball. And I have to limit the amount of rabbit holes I slide down for long periods of time. And the only one I got time for now is this music and my OnlyFans page. Uh, I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans page. What would be on it anyway if I had an OnlyFans page? Me watching sad movies and crying. How's that for an OnlyFans page? Um, what was I saying? I just find like people tuning in to watch you like he said he wasn't gonna leave and then he died. Right? Can you imagine? So has the number one most popular OnlyFans page. Uh, and the other two people are like porn stars, obviously. All right, that's it for us. That's it for me. I will see you tomorrow. Well, am I going to see you tomorrow? I will likely see you tomorrow. We need to do a test stream this week. Um, might be this afternoon because we have to give a good run by Tuesday when we sort of try and reset the format. Um, I don't really want to change this whole room around, but we have to reset the format because I have to be able to stand in this room. It'll work out, right? It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. So remember, you being here gives you 2 weeks of spiritual cleanliness. Gooey spiritual center is all filled with the nuggety goodness of love and the cosmic joy of peanuts and caramel. All right, remember, I'm goofy and I try and be semi funny, but there's always a little truth in what I'm talking about. Um, a little happiness. You deserve some. Go get some. People are always happy to tell you how ridiculous you are, and what you need to do is what I'm telling you to do. And then we can all accept you, right, guys? Yeah, get on board and do exactly what we're doing. And you might hop back there and get right in line with the rest of them. Maybe you're just, look, listen, we're all flowers, right? Nothing special about flowers. Feel the flowers, there's millions of them. But you're each and I are each unique, right? And that's the uniqueness, right? We're unique, but we're not unique. So don't be so up your skirt about your own importance, but absolutely be up your skirt about your own uniqueness and be unique. Try not to be everybody else. But at the end of the day, your fate is tied with everyone else's, right? I'm thinking about those people in Ukraine right now. And if Vladimir Putin keeps talking shit, this whole place will blow up because of the Ukraine, right? So people will be dead in Brooklyn and Wisconsin and Seattle and California, nuclear incursion, all because of something that happened a world away. So, or you could go, I don't care about those people, right? It will eventually come to your door. If it won't be the Ukraine, it'll be this, it'll be that. And it's come to these doors before, right? And people didn't care about slaves, and that was a whole kerfuffle, and came to their door, right? If you let the bad thing rot, it's perpetually seeping like lava. It destroys everything it touches, or at least tries to. And just because it's 10 miles away from you now and it moves an inch a mile does not mean one day it'll be at your doorstep threatening the people you love. So deal with it now, right? And saying that is deal with, like, your own issues first, right? Before you can deal with some international nonsense. These things come to your door. Don't be fooled by it. Uh, Try and find your own happiness, man. It is your weekend. But keep, like I said, you're not a delicate flower, right? You can take some pushing around. You can take some wit and criticism, right? You can be scuffed up. You can be bruised. You'll recover from that, right? Scars are good. But you are not the lone, delicate flower sitting upon a green hill that we all come through to worship. Ooh, look at you. You are like the rest of us flowers, out here in the sun, swaying in the breeze, hoping for a better angle of this whole thing. But when the lawnmower comes through, it's getting all of us, right? So this is what we want you to do. We want you to be happy, to find some solace and some joy in yourself, to have some concern about what's going on with other people outside your purview, right? I don't know how you can help them. I'm not telling you to donate or do anything like that, right? But I'm just saying you should be like, oh, that baby's there, and God forbid it happens here because it's been happening all over the place, right? All the Middle East, Israel, right? They were blowing stuff up in Ireland and Scotland. There were attacks in France, right? Don't be so arrogant to think that you are immune to it. And God forbid, if it does happen, know who the players are and what they want before you end up on the wrong team. You might be able to mitigate some of this just by what's the old song? Teach the children well. What's that song that they taught us in public school? What's that song they taught us in public school? I believe that children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind you of how it used to be. All right. I'm not going to even get you the next verse. I could if you want it. All right. We're going to go. True has to count his collection envelopes. Yes, greatest love. Yeah. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I did as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. So yes, these things are important. These cliche. This is why music is important. Someone will phrase something in a way that hits you in a place you know that's hard for other things to touch you. That's why music is great, and it informs you sometimes a little bit about yourself and what you think is important. So yeah, some of us like those inspirational songs, right? How much? What is it? How many miles must a man walk down before he can call himself a man? I remember them teaching me that song as a kid, and I thought there was a question to it, not an answer to it, because as a kid you don't know what rhetorical is. How many miles is that? I'm only being a man. How many miles is that? um, children. Here's the thing about kids. I remember people telling me stuff as a little kid that I did not get, and I was like, whatever. And then a light went on when I was like 19 and 20. I could tell you a story about my mom telling me something when I was 19. I was like, woman, you are crazy. And within 10 years, when I was like 27, uh, it, it, it just painted so much of my life after I realized what she meant. And she could have told me I wasn't a child, I was 19. That woman is so wise. It makes me crazy. I would like to think that she's just a crazy old lady, but man, sometimes I'm just kind of like, what? How? What? And she's like, told you. You think I'm slipping? I know. I'm like, yeah. Moms are awesome. It's Sunday. Sundays are always a good day to call your mom if you're lucky to have a mom and dad. To call them. That's the day I call my parents, Sunday. Um, call them once a week. I call them Sunday. I call my sisters and they make me crazy, so I call them whenever I feel like it. Cause god damn it, sisters, man, am I right? Ugh, that's all right. They don't call me either. I'm sure they're over there going. My sisters call my mother like 3 times a day, and have been doing so since they moved out of the house. I'm like, who talks to anybody? Women talks to their mothers that much. Yeah, I can see my dad. Hey, dad, what up? He's like, yo, that's it. I feel like we've rebonded. But nah, not my sisters. And then I talked to mom and they'll give me the whole lowdown of what the family's doing. What everyone did but you, because they know what you did too. All right. That is it for me. I'm out. I'm gonna go call my mom. I'm gonna go try and hopefully get these plugins today. You know what? We didn't check the door. Maybe we've been here and they came. Let's hold on. Let's see if it's here. Nope. I am not happy with Jeff Bezos and his fly-by-night operation. All right. That's it for me. I will get you with you guys in the next one. The next one is likely tomorrow. Normally, I either take Monday off or Thursday off. I don't ever know which one. It depends on when I'm tired and when I'm just kind of like, I can't even fuck with it. But this week, we're changing stuff, right? Look at me, man. I am round. I watch some of these videos. I turn to the side. I look like Santa Claus. I'm getting a lap that kids won't be able to sit on for Christmas. I couldn't be Santa Claus anyway because I can't grow a full beard. A goatee is so cool. I've been wearing a goatee since I'm 18. Is people still wearing goatees? Am I wearing an out, like, what is it? An expired fashion thing? Like powdered wigs. People used to wear powdered wigs. Now nobody wears powdered wigs. Am I running around with a powdered wig? I see everybody has beards, but not everybody can grow a beard, right? I don't see very many. Good Lord, excuse me. Good Lord. I don't see very many mustaches. I should know this, right? I should pay more attention to people walking past me in the street. We'll see. Are you clean shaven, William? Or you got a giant like ZZ Top beard? I would love a giant ZZ Top beard, but yeah, we'll see. Ah, good Lord. I guess it's Sunday. Well, let's get it started. All right. I will see you in the next one. Possibly tomorrow. I remember one year the Woolworth Santa looked like Wally Cox. Why do I know that name? Wasn't Wally Cox the actor who used to be a football player? Wasn't he the bad guy in Raising Arizona? No, that's not Wally Cox. Who's the bad guy in Raising Arizona? Wally Cox. Who? What? Which Wally Cox is this? Wallace Maynard Cox. Maynard is one of those old school names. Cox was born December 24th when he was teen, moved with his divorced mother Mary, author. His divorced mother, mystery author. His family moved frequently. Eventually, he chose. Is this the same Hollywood Squares? Is this him? Did he make personal life death? Cox was found dead, 73, Hollywood, California, at the age of 48. He died of autopsy. He died of heart attack caused by coronary occultation that he wished to have funeral that had to be scared at sea. Mr. Peepers. Mr. Peepers. Mr. Peepers. This can't be. Is this? This can't be that Hollywood. I guess it is. There he is in the Hollywood Squares. Underdog. All right, you got me to see rabbit holes, man. All right. Uh, but wait a minute. Who was the guy who was in Raising Arizona? It was something Cox. Raising Arizona, which is a great freaking movie. Ugh. Randall Cobb. Yeah, all right. Oh my gosh. Ugh. That's it for me. Thank you for coming through. I will see you in the next one. The next one is likely tomorrow, but if it's not, I'll see you Tuesday, and I'll explain to you why I wasn't here Monday. But if Tuesday comes and I was here Monday, we didn't have this conversation. Peace and hair grease. Please like and subscribe and show your love by supporting the channel as we grow. And we'll get there. We'll eventually make you proud of us. I say us like there's other people involved here, but it's just me. Eventually, hopefully there will be a us, right? That's the plan to grow the channel. Grow the channel. Um, Wally Cox. Why do I not know Wally Cox? Wally Cox. All right. I will see you, like I just said, in the next one. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Get out there and get some of that fantasticness that is life and living. Peace.